So I told you, figure out how your calculator does scientific notation and kind of write the instructions there just in case you forget. Again, it's either going to be an EXP, a times 10 to the, or an EE. What you don't want to do is type 6.23 times 10, and then your y to the x button, -5. Your calculator won't quite work the way you expect it to. So let's practice this. Performing calculations. There's going to be some of these in your homework. Example 1. Cameron, the first thing that I notice is this is a fraction. Yes? Is there more than one number or term on the top of the fraction? I should probably put it in brackets. Is there more than one number or term in the bottom of the fraction? Okay, I should put it in brackets. I'm going to show you one more thing as well. Look up for a second, all of you. Natalie, when I type or handwrite, brackets like that make it clearer to show multiplication, but on my calculator, showing multiplication by using brackets, by using parentheses, is too crowded and too cluttered. I lose track of stuff. So on my calculator, I tend to replace that with a times sign and that with a times sign when I'm typing. Okay? So it's going to look something like this. If you want to get your calculators out, we should be able to do this, showing no work, going straight to the answer. Cam, did you say there's more than one number on the top? I'm going to open a bracket. Even if you have a cheap POS calculator, you should be able to open it should have a bracket somewhere. You got to go hunting for it. Now, the cheap ones won't show you a bracket. They might show you a little bracket icon if you're lucky, but maybe even not that. They may just flash the screen, and that's their way of saying bracket. 1.8. And this is where you're going to hit your scientific notation button. You're not going to hit times. You're not going to type 10. You're not going to type to the power of. For me, my scientific notation button is right there. Once again, if you can't find a tie for you, it's the EXP button, bottom row near the middle.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
The rest of you, this is your day to still ask me. After today, I will no longer help you. I'll gently make fun of you. Now, next thing, if you have a good calculator, which most of you do, there is a difference between a subtraction and a negative. See the difference? In fact, on mine, they look different as well. Right here in front of this 3, is that 10 take away 3, or is that 10 to the power of -3? What do you think? Kareem, do you think this is 10 minus 3, or is this 10 to the power of -3?
10 to the power of
So you have to be very careful. You cannot go, that's going to give me an error, because now my calculator thinks I'm going take away 3. I have to use my negative sign. Don't close off the bracket. Hayden, don't go bracket, bracket. Instead, go times. That's way easier to follow. 2.6, scientific notation button, 5. Cam, will we finish the top off?
Yeah.
Close it off. Fraction is the same as which mathematical operation, folks? Divide. I will rarely write divided by. To me, a fraction, when I'm typing it, it's much clearer because you can clearly see what's on the top, what's on the bottom. So let's get in the habit of cluing in that on my calculator. I just do that. And Cam, you said there was more than one number in the denominator, in the bottom? Open a bracket. Oh, mine does a slash for divided by, which I like, actually, because that's, to me, Kareem, that's too easy to mistake for a plus sign if you're glancing at it in a rush. I really have never been a fan of that. I much prefer that. It's obvious slash divided by. Open a bracket. 9, scientific notation button, 8, times 1.3, scientific notation button, -1. This should work out evenly if you do this on your calculator. Try it. There'll be, I think it's a times 10 to the, I'm going from memory, -6 or something like that. But I think you get 4. Now, I don't write 4e minus 6. And I know some of you, it says different patients. I'll get to there. I know on my calculator, when I see this, it really means times 10 to the -6. Now, some of you, your calculator may have said 0.00004, which is also 4 times 10 to the -6. Whose calculator said that? Okay. Pause the video. Example 2. I notice there is a little exponent right there. It's going to vary from calculator to calculator how you type that. So let's just notice that. But first of all, is this scientific notation? Everyone say yes. Is there a fraction? Everyone say yes. Is there more than one number on the top? Brackets around the top. Is there more than one number in the bottom? Brackets around the bottom. Now, sometimes you might not need the brackets, but Robbie, it's a good habit to get into because you'll never be wrong for putting them there. You'll only be wrong for forgetting them. Okay? So I'm going to start out, clear my screen, bracket 5.8, scientific notation button 3 times 2.67, scientific notation button 21. And I'm going to close off the top and hit divided by and pause there once you get there, please. Whatever keystrokes you have to hit on your particular machine. Okay. Is there more than one number on the bottom, James? Yes. So we're going to open a bracket up, and I notice that this thing here has an exponent, so I think I should put this whole expression here in its own bracket. So I'm actually going to open up 2 brackets. I'm going to go negative 9.24 scientific notation negative 3. Close that little number off. And then find my exponent button. And I'm doing this on purpose so that you get to find your exponent button. My exponent button, and if you have a TI, your exponent button is probably this little hat. And I think on the Casios as well, it's probably a little hat thingy. Some of you, it might be a Y to the X. And if you can't find your exponent button, I'll help you find it in a second. But I'm going to go 5 to the 5th. So 2 brackets. Negative 9.24, scientific notation button, negative 3, close bracket, and then somewhere there's going to be an exponent button. So to find your exponent button, I'm going to once again pause. Continuing on, so for me, I have to put that to the 5th, and then now I want to multiply it by this number here. So times 1.3, negative 1, and now I close off the bottom. Now, I think it's Marcus and a few of you that when you do an exponent, it actually moves you up. You might have to, after typing that 5, go down arrow back to get to kind of the main level, and then times 1.3. And again, this is why on the first day I told you guys, get familiar with your own calculator, because I don't know how all of them work. I can figure it out, but you can see it's a painstaking process. You should get negative 1.76862 times 10 to the 36, that there. If you did not, later on, once because we're done, when we get to the homework, I'll help you walk through it, but I don't want to hold people up some more. How many of you got that okay? Nice. You got that the first time and not the second time? I mean, excellent. Good for you. So let's write it down. Negative 1.7, I guess 7, if I round off to there, since that's an 8, it should be 7.7. Let's do that. 1.77 times 10 to the, was it 36th power? Okay. Let me get you your homework. I got a couple of cool videos to show you, and then you'll also get the rest of class to work on this. So part of your homework is going to be these questions here, and it says the answers for this will be posted online. I will be putting them after I say get to work on my website, pitmath.com. I'll show you where they are later on in class. I also have one more little dumb sheet. So this is called Scientific Notation Practice. What a clever name. You're going to answer a riddle, and the riddle is, what is special about a radioactive cat? Which I'm sure you're all dying to know. So the way it works in exercises 1 to 2, you're going to choose the number that is written in scientific notation. Some of these violate the scientific notation rules. I told you they had to look a certain way. And what it says is choose the correct answer and circle the letter pair next to it. Write the uppercase letter in the box containing the lowercase letter. So for example, if you think number 1 is in scientific notation, it's not. But if you think it was, you would say little r goes with y. And so you would find the little r and you would put a capital Y right there. It's not the right answer. Please don't put a capital Y right there. So the way it works, in number 2, find the value of n. So you're just writing it in scientific notation. Number 3 is, or sorry, 7 to 12 is going backwards from scientific notation, writing back in standard or decimal form. Number 13 to 18, write it in scientific notation. And 19 to 22, write them in scientific notation. They're, I think, pretty good. They'll go pretty quick. And then you also have these questions assigned and attached. Pause the video.